If you have it, go to verse number 13. It is our custom that we stand in reference to the word of God.
That's right.
It's our custom that we stand in reference to the word of God. Is your mother coming back in here anytime soon? Okay. I want to dedicate this message to you, woman of God.
Amen.
You said something in your testimony that triggered me.
Jesus.
Exodus chapter number 14, verse 13. Go there. We're going to skip down to verse 30 when you're done. Verse 13 reads, And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. Verse 30, if you will. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the shore.
That's the word. That's the word. That's the word, Reverend.
If I was to title this message, I would probably tag it, He Saved Me.
Yeah.
Somebody, He saved.
He saved.
He saved.
Come on, Lee.
You can see the presence of the Lord. The misfortune that we have as men and women of God is that we all at some point must experience hardship. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but at some point, people of God, you have to know and understand that you will experience trouble. You will at some point of your life endure some trials and tribulations. Are you with me tonight?
Yeah.
There will be valleys that you will walk through, and there will be mountains that you must climb. There will come a time where each of us will indeed have to experience some level of trouble.
Yes.
Here it is. There's no way to avoid pain. There's no way to avoid pressure. There's no way to avoid opposition. There's no way to avoid agony. There's no way to avoid the trouble. But what I love most about God is that the Bible lets us know He's a refuge in times of trouble.
Yeah.
This is why we glory in our tribulations.
Yeah.
Knowing that tribulations worketh patience, patience experience, and experience hope, and hope maketh not ashamed. Count it all joy, when you fall into diverse temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, and we ought to let patience, I'm going to feel it in a minute, let patience have her perfect work. Yes, we're troubled on every side, yet not distressed, we're perplexed, but not in despair, we're persecuted, but not forsaken, we are cast down, but not destroyed. You may at some point experience some trouble, but the blessing is that it will not kill you. Somebody ought to get excited right there, that no matter how hard the enemy comes to attack me, the Bible lets me know that it will not kill. Somebody lean over for the verse, time tonight and tell somebody, it won't kill me, it won't kill me. Here it comes, here we are.
Come on.
Exodus chapter number 14. The enemy is on the arise, and
Yes, he is.
the children of Israel is under attack again.
Come on now.
I can't help but understand the emotions of one whom had just escaped one storm, and now they embark upon another. Y'all ain't come to hear me preach tonight. Yes, they're afraid, they're weak, they're confused, they're tired. People of God, have you ever been tired? Tired of having to deal with the harsh reality of life itself. I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. Yes, y'all help me pray. If it's not my family that the enemy wants, it's my money. If it's not my money, it's my mind. If it's not my mind, it's my joy. If it's not my joy, it's my freedom. And at this point, the only thing that keeps me grounded is my faith in God. But if we can be transparent for just a moment, even my faith gets weak sometimes because I try to align myself with the will of God, but the will of God does not align itself with the promise that God gave me. Let's talk about it. God said you would be free, but you feel bound now more than ever before. You ain't gonna help me tonight. And God said no more tears, but you cry now more than ever before. God said no more suffering, but you suffer now more than ever before. What happens, people of God, when the will of God does not seem to align itself with the promise of God? I tell you what happens. You fight the good fight and keep your faith. Remember what God said. He said, for I know the thought that I think towards you. It's thoughts to prosper you and never to harm you, and it's to bring you to an expected end. There is the end of the thing. I knew y'all would get excited right there. That the beginning thereof. Yeah, somebody help me. What are you trying to say, brother preacher? Well, what I'm trying to tell you tonight, good sir, is that it may not look good right now, but they that wait upon the Lord, He shall renew their strength, that they mount up with wings as eagles, that they run and not be weary, walk and not faint, be not dismayed, whatever we try, because God will take care. Be not weary and well doing, for in due season you shall reap. I put it around somebody next to you and tell them, I won't faint. I won't faint. I won't faint. I don't care how hard the wind blows. I won't faint. I won't faint. I don't care how hard the enemy tries to knock me down. Somebody shout, I won't faint. I won't faint.
I won't wait. Come on, man.
The Bible says the children of Israel looked up.
Lord have mercy.
They saw the Egyptians rushing in on them. They looked over at Moses.
Come on,
They
they
said, what have you done? They said, have you brought us out here to die? Because
right.
if so, I could have stayed.
I could have died like that.
I could have stayed where I was. Now let me pause for a cause there, because it's a sad commentary where being in bondage feels better than you being set free. Nobody gonna play with y'all now. Watch how Moses responds. He responds by saying this. He said, fear not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord.
Yeah. Come on.
Hey Moses, this is ironic because you just delivered me out of bondage. Now here we are running from the very thing you just promised me I would never have to see again. Tell me, how do you expect me not to fear in a situation that could cost me my life? Well, people of God, this is where we begin to lack in faith. Yes, you see, because when you have true faith in God, you don't sorrow like them that have no hope. Because you have so much word in you that trouble literally has no effect on you. What am I going to stop playing with you? I said, when you have true faith in God, afflictions of the righteous, but God will, come on and help me preach it tonight, deliver you out of these life afflictions. They last but for a moment, but they work for us far more exceeding and eternal weight. And therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in years, you have so much word in you that trouble literally has no effect on you. But the problem with the people of God is that our focus and our perception is all off. I need nobody to respond there. You see, because we focus more on what we're going through rather than the faithfulness of God. You mean to tell me all you see is death, but you don't see the fact that God has already saved you from death time and time and time. No, y'all ain't coming. You mean to tell me all you see is misery, but you don't see the fact that God has already delivered you from misery time and time and time again. But if we focus more on the faithfulness of God, we can face our crisis with confidence that even though we find ourselves in a situation and we see no way out, you don't panic. You say, though ye slay me,
Thank you.
yet will I trust him, because he's a constant God. He's the God of the encore. That means if he did it before, certainly he can do it again, because he's the same God today that he was yesterday, and will be the same God forevermore.
God Almighty.
Give us some more.
All right. The Lord,
Jesus.
I don't want to hear, I don't know which way to. The Lord says, he speaks to Moses, he says, Pastor Turner, this was for you. He says, cry no more. Tell the children of Israel to move out. I gotta get out of here. This is what he says. He says, this is for you. This is for you. He said, you are to raise your staff. He says, and I want you to stretch your hand over the sea and divide the waters. I'm coming. He says, this is so that the children of Israel may escape on dry land. He says, hold on, wait a minute. He says, I'll harden, yeah, my brother pushing me now. He says, I'll harden the heart of the oppressor, and they'll follow you into the midst of the sea. But the Bible says that when they got to the other side, yes, he says, Moses turned around and stretched his hand out over the sea once more. And the Bible says God caused the waters to retreat, and he destroyed the Egyptians in the middle of the sea. Don't miss it. Watch the instruction. Watch the instruction. He says, you are to raise your staff. He says, and stretch out your hand over the sea. Y'all miss it. Let me say it to you. He says, raise your staff. Yeah, he got it. And stretch out your hand over the sea. Watch this. Let me make it plain for you. In other words, he says, if you ever want to conquer the enemy, and if you ever want to overcome this battle, you got to use what's already in your hand. You ain't come to listen to it either. The problem with us is that we waste so much time looking for answers everywhere else. Y'all ain't come to help me tonight. And we waste so much time looking for results everywhere else when God said everything you need is already in the palm help me preach this thing real